Sven.
You just get the Sven here. I don't see the reason why you would not get a Sven. And then they can get either Slardar or they can get Ursa for themselves. I think this is the thought of process for Live to win.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, maybe the outside chance of a troll or something, but we'll see what Seneko has up his sleeve for this draft. As Mudgolems, they're taking a bit of time on this, so it doesn't look like they are 100% set on that Sven first pick. Or do you think this is something where they know they want Sven and they're thinking about what comes next and then what comes in that fourth pick for them?
Garrett, these are professional teams. They don't just go, yeah, let's pick this. This sounds great. Like they had a pause, so they can talk about how they're gonna open up with the picks. Pretty sure they have a backup plan. If they pick this, we're gonna do this, and probably try to guess what their go. Check their Dota buff, see what they played. See something completely different.
Earth Spirit. I feel like we saw this earlier on. My mind is kind of blown with the amount of games we're seeing. But yeah, I think someone let the Sven Omnionite through. They went Earth Spirit and Troll. It might have been OG that did it, in fact. So it's kind of a backup plan for them for sure. And this is one of Milan's best heroes. Would you agree?
It's hard to say. Like, he plays so many heroes: Earth Spirit, Marana, Clockwork, Shadow Demon, you name it. But yeah, his Earth Spirit's pretty solid. Rock solid, I would say.
Very good. You know what? You're going to get like a Reddit thread where someone just lists every single pun and every single joke make.
It's not possible.
Every dad joke.
I would get banned. People would not watch me if someone did that to see how much stupid stuff I say. So yeah,
hey,
Sven,
your Wikipedia profile just got like an entire section of dad jokes from Lacoste.
Omnionite. I mean, you can still pair it up with Sven. Don't see why they should not do it. If they open up yeah, go ahead.
During the break, they had a gentleman's agreement where both teams were like, we ignore Sven. It's one of the last games of the patch. We'll just forget about him for now.
Sure.
Messaging on Steam saying, Sven's banned. We're not going to actually ban him, but he's not going to be there. And he's not. Omni Tiny. I had to double check that Sven wasn't banned in the first phase and I missed it.
Omni Tiny is this, okay opening where you have a lockdown coming out from your position 4, which is most likely going to be Tiny. Live to win. They don't play that much Tiny, and when they do, okay, so this is what they were fishing for. Like, we talked about this stuff during the first game where they try to copy it from OG against the Alliance, and they still lost the game, but it's an extremely powerful combo.
It sure is. And banning out the Storm then straight off the ban as well. So it's going to be the Supreme mid-morphling, you assume, right?
Exactly, yeah. So you still need to get a carry. The dual core lineup seems to be working like much better than just having a one single core that you can buff up. Like even in the previous series, like Invoker, he still scales with the item build that he went for, like Orchid, BKB, Alacrity, either on Sven or on him. So it's still a ton of damage from your mid lane, and the Viper's utility, but also still deals a ton of damage.
Yeah, so some of the things that Alliance did up against this was like they picked instant stuns like Dragonite, for example, silences. They had Prophet, I believe, was like an Orchid. They had Mars and Troll to give them this team fight, and Omnionite backing up the Troll to actually battle into the Morphling. So we could maybe go down that direction for Live to win, because Morphling could still be susceptible to getting blown completely up. And in those games against Alliance, Mudgolems did have Supreme standing in, and he didn't have a particularly good time.
Yeah,
there's the Viper ban.
I'm not sure if Supreme is, on a tryout because Barania was kicked and they need a new mid player. But yeah, Supreme, when he played for NIP, I feel like him and Saberlight were the best players on the team. So no surprise, like Mudgolems as a team that I would say has better chances of succeeding if they stick together. Like Supreme just, playing for them, thinking about himself.
It's an interesting question, though, because we've seen Saberlight tweeting that Misha no longer playing with them. He did say that Supreme was only standing in for Mudgolems, but you can never be quite sure, through a couple of tweets, which way things are going. And the Sven now grabbed up by Mudgolems, so snatching it away from Live to Win if Seneko wanted to go that direction.
Sven Morphling, like, you know what's more powerful than one Sven? Two Svens. What about Enigma? Like, this is something that I want to see. Percentage-based damage against the Morphling, against the Sven, also Midnight Pulse, the Black Hole threat. Could be a bit slow. Oh, it's banned out by Live to Win. Never mind.
But yeah, percentage-based damage that you want, DP and Enigma.
Because they were afraid that combination that OG ran, like they had Morphling Earth Spirit plus Enigma, where E-Blade slows you down for 4 seconds, keeps you inside the Midnight Pulse, and just amplifies the damage. So it's a pretty sick combo.
Yeah, it definitely is. Where do we go now? Omni 5, Tiny 4. You mentioned Slardar for Live to Win as a potential POS 3 for Afterlife. Invoker for FN, though, going to come out first, prioritizing that. And that should be a mid lane where, again, Invoker with Quas should sustain pretty decently.
Yeah, and this time around, Invoker might be the one getting a Spirit Vessel against the Morphling, something that I'd say you need to have. Also, they're not revealing their carry yet, so there's going to be one guy they will buff up. Who's available? Like, Troll still seems like a really good option.
Yeah, there's tons. There's plenty left. And Invoker's also pretty hard to gank in the mid lane. Earth Spirit, we often see him kind of floating around from one of the side lanes into mid as his natural trajectory. Yeah. And Invoker's like, Tornado, I'm out of here.
Cold Snap underneath the tower, something that Earth Spirit loves to do. Dive in, and Invoker could easily get a return kill.
All right, Mudgolems. Is it Fata time? No Undying. No IO.
No Dispel. No, like Enchantress is still available. Like you have Earth Spirit, so like control is there. You don't necessarily need to think about how. Yeah, there she goes. Like it's a really solid lane with Sven, where you have a ton of kill potential, and the Dispel mechanic against the Omni Knight is just amazing.
It feels like this draft has kind of gone backwards. Like the first phase heroes have been brought out in the second phase. And the mind game's kicking in. And it's Seneco's turn. And you reckon they're going, like there's 2 bans remaining, you reckon they're going to hold that last pick for Dream
for the carry?
All the way till the end?
Because carries are not banned out. Like only one carry, and that's Faceless Void. Okay.
Well, yeah, another Slark coming. It's a hero that you can buff it up.
Yeah, looks like a really, really good Slark game. They can't fit in Lashrak. They just need to ban out the offlaners that Slark is afraid of. So Hawk, that gives vision, so Slark cannot, it's a good thing to have Beastmaster against Slark, because if you give sentries to Slark, he might think, underneath the board, you place a sentry, waste the gold, and it's actually a Hawk if you don't get the kill on the Hawk.
And he really doesn't deal well with summons, does he? Like boars and Necro units. He can really struggle to that. Well, what else is there then? What's this final ban going to be? Like Timber, Enigma, okay, Darkseer as well apparently being taken out. Darkseer, Earth Spirit.
Not the hero that I would expect, but never. I don't think I've seen Darkseer ban in the last month. That's probably something that maybe they scrimmed against each other and they did it, so that's why they ban it out.
Maybe they saw the Enigma game earlier where it was Darkseer Spirit Breaker, and they're like, wait a second, even though they lost, still a good pressure lane. Could go up in the face of the Slark. Then on the other side, banning out some offlane heroes, of course, against Old A. Venomancer out as that oppressive hero could really get under the skin of Sven.
Mars is still available for Mudgolems. It's also like Mars not contested at all.
Yeah, he's kind of been ignored today. I've not really seen him played. Also, Phoenix has kind of been ignored this series as well. I guess a couple of bans early on. But this game in particular, no Phoenix at all to be seen. And Tidehunter. There's your final pick for Live to Win. Should give a nice bit of safety for Slark in the team fights, especially pre-BKB on this Sven. Have that Ravage, the Gush with the minus armor. Lots of slows.
I'm just looking through the hero list. I don't see that guy that, you know, just completely dominates the Slark in the laning stage. It's Slark Omni, which provides Slark so much sustain, and you know, you can make some stacks for Slark, leave him solo XP so that he gets to that level 6 much faster. Also, there's no AoE damage that Slark is afraid of. Earth Spirit, that's pretty much it.
It's where I'd love to see like a 3-3 Necro, or like, you know, some funky pick from Mudgolems. Oh, it is the Leshrac.
Yeah,
you said
I
it.
mean, I didn't think they can fit into it, so it's just going to be an off-lane Leshrac. And that's the first hero that comes to my mind against the Slark. Could work, could also easily like backfire if you're not having a rough time. Leshrac is a hero that consumes a ton of gold on the map.
Especially with 2 greedy cores already.
Yes, exactly. It's a greedy lineup for Mudgolems. I love Lives to Win lineup where, you know, they have a good scaling core. You have Omni Knight to buff him up. They also don't have the answer for the Tidehunter.
It's that nice kind of very evenly staggered farm, right? Where you're going to have, you know, all 3 cores kind of farming the first 10 minutes of the laning stage. FN maybe needs another 5. And then Dream is going to get the rest of the time just completely farm up the rest of the map for himself. Like Immersion just needs a blink. Seneko doesn't need too much for himself. FN needs, you know, 1 or 2 items. We saw the Orchid into BKB and he was able to accomplish a lot. Then Old A can just spam out these aura items. The Solar Crests, the Vlads. All that good stuff to keep pumping Dream into a good position on that Slark.
And this is a really good pipe game for Tidehunter. Into Leshrac, into Morphling, Earth Spirit. These are the heroes that deal a ton of magical damage. Leshrac is a mixed one, but still, I just want to see the top lane. This is the lane I want to focus on to see how much, actually bottom lane, because they're playing Dire, Leshrac, and Earth Spirit. It's a double stun lane, so they could get away with that, you know, get a couple of kills if Omni Knight is out of position. But still,
Is there any way you want to like swap the lanes around? It feels like it should just be standard, the way that they put, you know, offlaner into the offlane, right? There's no specific matchups that you want to dodge or avoid.
Yeah, if they swap the lanes, you're still playing like Tidehunter into double stun lane, which is really bad for Tide matchups. So I think you just go with the standard stuff.
Prepare for battle.
Alrighty then, here we go. Game 3. Mudgolems up against Live to Win, all tied up in the lower bracket of the OGA DOTA Pit Season 4. And the winner of this goes up against Team Nigma in that lower bracket round 2. And the loser, of course, all done and dusted. Smokes. Only one, actually. Mudgolem's going to smoke out of their base, while Live to Win saw them a couple of times go for the 5-man smokes to try and get a bit of information early on. Just dropping the good luck, have fun.
And Immersion gone. Earth Spirit rolls in, misses.
Stormhammer lands, though. They don't have the Split Earth landing, but they've got the Enchant Slow. And now 3-3, still holding a skill point. Doesn't want to level up Split Earth, apparently. Toss back, Lightning Storm coming, and he secures the kill.
Okay, so that's a free null tally for Leshrac. Like, you would want to give a kill to the, let's say, mid-morph, but morph did not skill the waveform. You could get away with that, you know, because you're playing mid, so you're going to get level 2 from the first creep wave anyway.
True, true. Slark in a pretty forward position. Dream looking to try and steal one of the bounty runes potentially, but Milan and 3-3 have already made their way over there pretty quickly. Skitter and Fat are going to get one up top. So 2 for 2. Pounce coming. Well, 3 for 1 actually. Milan does get forced away to his tier 1, but very good start there for Mudgolems. 3 bounty runes and the first blood. And it's a good start for this bottom lane in particular, the one that you said you wanted to be paying attention to. Like 3-3 having the first blood and the bounty runes going into his pockets, really nice for his double null start.
Yeah, it's so much damage, and not just about damage, it's also about mana regeneration, which this hero really needs if you want to be constantly spamming the spells. You use Lightning Storm, you still don't get the last hit. That kind of feels bad.
Should be able to secure the range creep with it though, which he does. So Milan 3-3 down there, Seneko and Dream trying to face off against them. In that mid lane, Supreme against FN.
Yeah.
Morphling against Invoker. Already being chipped away at by tornadoes and soon to be cold snaps and EMPs. But both of these heroes, they feel unkillable. Especially when Morphling hits level 3.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna see a kill. Supreme should always be able to get the morph off, even though he's a hero that loves to play on low HP, so you can get surprised by Tornado. It's still very low damage.
Milan chasing 2 couriers down bottom. And Seneko wants a high five, but he's not getting it. And that 1v1 does leave the Slark alone against the Leshrac, which is not really where he wants to be. And Seneko going to try and drag that wave back a little bit, get a pull across, but Milan blocks him, stops him in his tracks. Now with a bit of calm down there, we can look up towards top. Tide facing off against Skitter and Father on that Sven and Enchantress. All Day's going to get stunned up now though. That Harpy was spamming out lightning on him and, well, he's under tower so he's fine. While Immersion's Tiny can come and soak up a few of the CS and experience.
He's only level 1. If he's level 2, they might go for a toss-back play under the tower. So once again, we might see like a very slow laning stage with only a couple of kills.
It definitely feels that way. Fata, interesting. I think he was trying to pull but missed out on it. Immersion just rolling around with his taunt. Pretty hard here for Fata to get a good position and find some good pulls. Tiny with the boots, always going to be able to catch up to you. Looks like Fata's going to wait to stack. While down bottom, Dream, yet again dropping a little bit low on the old HP. Spammed out by the lightnings, but Seneco's there with a salve. Still
it's a lot of harassment.
Pressure.
Like, they can get a kill. 4 live to win. Slark is already level 3, so has a bounce and has a dark pact. Seneko using purification to try to get a last hit, doesn't get it. It's super costly, 80 mana. It's not like you have unlimited mana on this hero. Needs to pop the clarity.
Yeah, you've only got like 3.5 heals. Can't do too much with that.
Wow. Leshrac really wants to dominate the lane. Triple null. Wow.
Congratis, you can buy Null Talus. Not in the mid lane though. Does keep spamming out that lightning storm. It's getting annoying for Dream. And again, a roll from Milan, stopping Seneko from doing any more pulls. So they're keeping the lane kind of where they want it. Pushing onto that tower and making sure that Dream has to fight for every CS. While up towards top, they do have the chain stuns on all day. Stormhammer into the Centaur, but Tiny, the immersion man, comes in. Good avalanche and the toss back and the final impetus shot, not enough to find Afterlife. So he salves and he's got that Ring of Regen ticking too. And you're right, looks like he's going to go for the pipe. Ring of Health is queued up, so...
That might be Meteor Hammer. Like, he might still swap things around. Something that the Tide Hunters love to rush. This casual Ring of Regen is just for the lane. Oh, he's getting very close to that 20 gold. Can they kill him? Nah, they don't have enough damage.
No, they can't. And then bottom lane, Milan diving under tower. Dream not going to be able to follow through on anything. And 3-3 with the clarity going. 2-0-2 build for him. Really is making Dream's life a living hell. But we've got raindrops on the Slark, so he's at least able to mitigate some of the damage coming his way. Pinging out on the Slark. Trying to force him to pounce or something. As up top. Again, a stun landing. Immersion. Once more, just Avalanche and trying to run away, but Skitter's popped the Warcry and sprinting forward, trying to spill the blood of Tiny. Does get the second kill of the game up for them.
And Fata will get that bounty rune, so that's 1, 2, 3. Wow, I think they picked up 6 out of 8 bounties.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, that's 3 and 3. And how's that mid lane? Not peeked in there for a while. Invoker 29 and 11. Morphling at 20 and 10. Bit of a backstab though. And FN's Courier sniped away. And FN does have that urn. It would be nice to get some charges on it. Kind of difficult from the mid lane. And Supreme just keeps waveforming into the creep wave, shoving it out, then he can fall back to farm up some jungle camps. As the top rune spawn, guarded by Fata. DD for Morphling now. That's a wonderful
We'll refill
grab.
the bottle, and I mean, it can still get dispelled by Invoker, so not that big of a deal. And yeah, Tidehunter will go for the Meteor Hammer instead, just some more tower damage. They're a bit limited on stuns, and the setup for it, like the best they have is Tornado.
3-3. Toss back into tower, and there's FN's rotation. He wants the urn charges, and he'll find one here while he's slaying Leshrac. Killed off under that tier 1. Nice little move from 4 different heroes. Then Seneko comes into mid. Try and soak up some of the experience that's been left for him by the Invoker. Supreme with the help of Milan, trying to chase Seneko, but even with just a windlace, he's able to actually skip away. 2 seconds till Tornado imps up. FN thinking about going for it, getting a few whacks of the DD Morphling though.
Yep.
And then up at top, Afterlife. Is he going to die here? The Hellbear claps him, slows him down. He doesn't have boots, but 8-1 charges and another anchor smash, but he's been body blocked in. Oh, no, he hasn't. Fat doesn't get in front of him. Slows with the enchant. Sven's still going with the blood strength. Can't get the toss. Immersion. Can't save the day.
Invoker did not have a TP ready. If he has a TP, that's easy 2 kills. With the Tornado and the already earned charge, yeah, I mean, they're still gonna get the kill.
The big one as well. On that skitter, Sven.
Has been killed.
Seneko does lose his courier, though. Sven did finish off Mask of Madness, so the death not mattering a massive amount. They're also going to get the stun onto the Slug, but missing the roll. Level 6 Slug. Pulse numbers going from 3-3. Pops the Shadow Dance, leaps away with a pounce. And he's safe and sound.
Sometimes the best thing you can do is body block people. It's better than using the spells, it's better than a stun. Mid lane.
Oh, FN.
All his mana gone. Has 3 mangoes though.
Oh yeah, so he does. And a clarity, but in comes Immersion. Got it off the strength morph anyway. Attribute shifted up. And now he can heal very effectively.
So they're doing a very good job just securing the runes for the mid Morphling, who needs mana to continue to dominate his lane. 300 gold in front of the Invoker. Oh, this should be an easy one.
Oh, super easy. Fata scouting out this tiny rotation, though, means that the cores and all the other lanes perfectly happy. And a 3k lead in net worth here from Mudgolems, even though the kill score is all tied up. You look at the net worth board. Leshrac, 4,000 net worth. Now moving on to Seneko to try and find a solo kill of his own. Rotations coming in, Milan and FN looking to try and get this catch.
Oh, she's so dead.
Oh, 3-3. Cold snapped onto that tower. And FN really making the most of this early Invoker pressure. While Dream misses the pounce on Milan. Fata's there, making sure that they don't keep converging onto the Earth Spirit. But it's the mid-tier one for Morphling, and Sven up top is just farming freely too.
Even with 2 deaths, Leshrac is almost on top of net worth. That's pretty impressive. Like, he should be more careful, because, you know, you feel like, yeah, I did so much in the laning stage, but that means you're also giving a lot of gold to the enemies.
Mudgolems coming down bottom lane, but a good observer ward placed by Immersion. Will spot Milan, and they know that Morphling has left the mid lane now.
Very good ward. Will get denied in less than 5 seconds.
Oh, well, it gave them the information they needed.
Yeah. Immersion will do the same thing. Milan places observer ward right after one of those got devorded. So if somehow they place a ward on the high ground, they will see it.
They sure will. Sven's having a great time. 5,000 net worth, Mask of Madness. Phase boot's done.
Radiant's bottom tower
Skitter
is
still
under
has that
attack.
triangle wide open for him as the bounty rune is actually still standing there.
Dire's top tower
Not able to
is
put any
under
pressure
attack.
top onto the Slark. And in fact, Live to Win are just going to leave Slark top while they TP a number of heroes bottom to get on top of the Leshrac. Down to half HP, 3-3. He's being burst apart. The Pulse Nova's still going, but that's it. He's done. FN's on a killing spree. Wants Milan, the kickback on Immersion there, and Skitter, he doesn't really want to stick around and fight this. He's got God Strength, but backs away.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Leshrac once
Morphling.
again overextending, and that fight was without Tidehunter even using a Ravage. He's very farmed. Boots of Speed, Wand, full Meteor Hammer, level 8.
3-3 Leshrac, TP straight back down bottom lane. Let's go again. Tier 1 tower. Give it, give it. Level 2 Edict is all he's got, though, as All Day initiated on by the Invis of Supreme. The God Strength of Skitter moving forward, but it's a tanky Tide with Heavenly Grace on him. Immersion in the trees, being pinged out here as the Tiny does get cut in on. Toss back, Avalanche into the two of them, but Immersion's life is forfeit now. And the Tier 1 finally crumbles.
Middle tower is under attack.
Good
They
amount of
needed one
space,
extra
though.
hero, like either Invoker or Slark, to take that fight, but seems like Slark does not want to be taking any fights anytime soon. Going for Hand of Midas, just completes the recipe. And on the mid lane, Invoker has that Urn of Shadows that we talked about, getting very close to the full Spirit Vessel, something that's going to do really amazing against the Morphling and the Enchantress. Enchantress doesn't even have a point in Nature's Attendant, so... But still, you have ways of dealing with the Morphling, which is what you need to have. Quick pause. That's the biggest lie, you know, just saying it's a quick. We don't know.
You don't even know it's a lie until afterwards either. It's like a preemptive lie. Slark has Diffusal Blade queued up, and I've not seen this in a while. We've seen the Midas into Silver Edge, the build like that, where you head into like a BKB or Scardy later on. Diff Blade against Lash, Morphling Sven. It seems alright, but it doesn't seem like game-defining.
Another way of mana burn on top of EMP against the Morphling, against the Lashrac just seems really good, and having the Diffusal Blade on Slark combined with the Essence Shift, so like, just feels really, really good. More attack speed that you get means more mana burn equals more damage.
Infinite scaling.
Yeah. He might still swap things around.
Yeah, he's got that option. We'll see what the rest of Mudgolems get up to. So we're expecting pretty standard builds here. Looks like Sven about 800 gold away from Echo Saber with BKB queued up after it. So he's going to be able to hit that timing, 16, 17 minutes in or so. Morphling with E-Blade after Dragonlance. Should be a couple minutes for him to get to that, as well as Greaves on Leshrac. So they're all converging towards that kind of pre-20-minute hit where they should all be incredibly tanky and outputting a lot of damage.
Yeah, you're still playing off-lane Leshrac, so you need to adjust your item build. You can't go for the greedy stuff.
Tank up the rest of the squad. Be that beefy boy as he smokes up with Sven and the Morphling. Swinging up towards the Slark up top. Milan's toying with him here, throwing the high fives. I think Dream knows something's up, though. 3-3 leading the charge. Sentries down. They give up their position. Slark had already retreated far enough away.
And look at this. They're inside the pit with this maneuver, showing the Slark. They know where he is. Double damage Morphling with the Sven, who doesn't even have ulti. They take it down so quickly.
13-minute Roshan. Now a 5k net worth lead. Tide getting a Meteor Hammer hit onto the mid-tier 1. Slowed up by Fata, Skitter, and Milan rolling in. Good initiation, kick back the Tide into the EMP. They won't want to fight there. Fata gets burnt of all his mana, and Milan with a 4-man magnetize,
nice
forcing the Ravage. It's a good play by Old Afterlife. Milan rolls back in, and a Deafening Blast pushes them back. Milan, the one casualty of war so far, is they can't even kill the Tide Hunter. The rest of Live to Win on this high ground. The Avalanche Toss does catch them out, but no kills yet. As Skitter and Supreme focusing Immersion, but wanting to run away. They don't have the Aegis on Sven. He's the one that's going to die here to the cold snap and the right clicks of FN. Finally, the Guardian Angel from the Radiant comes through. And Immersion No mana, can't toss, will just avalanche Fata, and the Gush with the right clicks, finish him off with a tornado, FN with a double kill. That's straight out of Roshan and straight into feeding.
That was such a sick Ravage. He caught Morphling after the waveform and 2 other targets. Where was Lash in that fight?
Nowhere to be seen. He was top lane, wasn't he?
Like, they need Lashrak. He is the damage. This is actually the first target they want to take out. For Live to Win, of course.
Yeah, all that early game damage.
It's still a 4k gold lead for Mudgolems, even after losing that fight.
And they do have Aegis still on Morphling. They didn't lose it straight away. So a silver lining for them. But really great for FN Invoker in particular. Now top of the net worth of his team, Midas queued up. Did finish off that Spirit Vessel like you mentioned. So ways of handling the Morphling. Roll in towards mid, not connecting. They silence the Invoker. They can't catch him when he goes to walk out of there though. And that Dust from Milan not connecting means that Dream and Old Afterlife all gonna run away.
So I had to check the item build on Supreme when they played against the Alliance the other day. Same combination, Morphling plus Earth Spirit, something that OG showed the full potential of it. He didn't even get the Aghanim Scepter. Maybe he doesn't know how to play Earth Spirit.
He doesn't want to go for the double Earth Spirit plays.
Yeah. So he just go with the standard build, you know, like the Dragon Lance, and then getting E-Blade just for some extra stats, cheap damage.
Try and hit that timing a bit earlier on.
When I say cheap damage, I mean Dragon Lance, I don't mean E-Blade, because that's not really cheap.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
It sure isn't.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Easy tower top though for him.
Radiant's top tower.
TPing down bottom as they want to set up another fight, but again, it's into the Ravage. A good roll from Milan. 2-man silence into the kick. Magnetoise catches the 2 supports, but the Heavenly Grace from that Omni Knight keeps him safe until the Stormhammer lands. He's still pretty tanky though, and another hit from Morphling's required.
Look at where Afterlife is.
He's deep, yeah, and they've got, Tornado. It slows them down, but they've still got Reveal, the sentry. They catch him.
They did not want to take that fight. Slark was not close, and he just wants to farm his Diffusal Blade before he starts joining the team fight. So I think FN should have just bailed. Like, okay, you're gonna kill our position 5. We're more than fine with that. Oh,
and
these
more than
Omni
5
Knights
heroes.
are really struggling with getting the levels. Same goes for Tiny. 2 times in a row. Like, not the ideal timing on a Blink Dagger. Like, 2, 3, 4 months ago, we could have seen Tiny with, you know, 11, 12 minutes Blink Daggers.
Radiant structures are fortified.
That was when people were really exploiting all the wave drag backs and position 4s were getting a lot of farm.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
And now there's quite a bit of greediness here,
Structures are
because
fortified.
from Radiant's side, Tiny would like to be in the top lane farming, but Dream is soaking up all of that. Invoker and Tide are elsewhere on the map taking farm, so not really a spot.
Yeah, if Tiny was a real player, he would just use the Avatos on the lane, and it's exactly what he's gonna do. Just waiting for toss, does not want to consume too much mana. Getting very close, 300 gold away. Afterlife still in the same spot.
He is.
Dire's
Oh, Centaur Stomp.
Oh,
It
Centaur.
was very,
think it
very
was on-
close.
Cooldown for like 0.1 seconds. When I clicked on it, it was just ready.
Yeah. It was incredibly tight there for the Centaur Stomp to come. He just
Morphling
reclaimed
is
it
in, like-
10 seconds.
Oh,
He's-
these are some free stacks, and there's 10 seconds left on Aegis. Can they time it?
Oh, it looks like he's
5
going to be
seconds.
okay.
Oh,
They're going to try and
he
finish him
doesn't
off
know.
before it happens.
Oh, he knows.
It's super close. The DD picked up by Milan, and they were trying to catch him with the Tornado all the way in the back, but Aegis going to heal up the Morphling.
is under attack.
High ground vision now from Milan, spots out the Slark.
That would
Dream
have been such a
wanting
big
to play forward there. They do see that Milan Earth Spirit. Dream going to try and pounce away. 3-3's arrived with Fata, Supreme, everybody. 5v5 in the mid lane.
It's still very hard for Slark to go in, like even with the talent, 9 strength, Pupil's Gift, so makes him a lot tankier. And I see SNY being queued up by him, which is okay. I think the tankiness here is gonna win them the game. Like, if he gets SNY into BKB or into Scotty, I think that's a really good build. Because you have ton of armor, ton of stats, and then you can be that guy that goes in and out multiple times.
Live to win. Smoking across the map, and they are going to collide with Skitter's Sven. They saw him. They know he's there. They pinged it out, but they want to move in instead towards the Morphling. But Supreme Waveform's out. Milan rolls away. They still have the pounce in from Dream. Silence
No
all
mana.
day. They do have Ravage coming. If only you could close the gap on them. But the delay tactics from Mudgolems hold the slot back, forcing out yet another Heavenly Grace.
It's such a tough game for Morph. Like, they are feeding him mangoes, Guardian Greaves to replenish the mana. I don't see where their mango tree is. Pretty sure not.
I was just about to ask you, like, when you said feeding him mangoes, I looked back in the base, there's nothing there. Oh, they've caught FN. Roll just about connecting, kicking him back into the waiting arms of Morphling, but Slark here with an Omni Knight to save them up. Dreams in deep, and the Avalanche toss. Good amount of burst damage, but no finishing blow just yet. They've got the Heavenly Grace, but the Guardian Angel comes too late, and the magic damage burst from the Morphling finds FN. Dream, Midas is down the Centaur. Losing immersion as well, though, as Afterlife maybe trying to think about holding this high ground, but they're TPing out. They don't want to fight. Dream can pounce to the low ground, but he's being clapped by the Stormhammer, and he's got no real way of surviving this now. Heavenly Grace there from Suneko, but he's been burst down by the Pulse Nova. 3-3 gets a double kill, and Suneko, no mana for TP, grabs a bounty rune, but surely he's going to get found on his way out.
That fight was such nicely done by Mudgolems, where they isolate the Invoker. Omni Knight does not pop the ulti straight away. Even if it does, I think they would still manage to bring him down, and they're staying away from the Tidehunter and the Slark, so pretty impressive, I would say.
Absolutely is, and now you've got this 21-minute E-Blade on the Morphling. That magic burst damage against this Invoker is only going to get worse for FN. And he's not going to go BKB, he's going for the Solar Crest. Kind of as expected to buff up the Slark. But if he gets spotted in a fight, he just dies.
Yeah, I think you need to start thinking about yourself, because there's a ton of magical damage, and Tidehunter, this is why I said that I would still prefer, you know, to have like full pipe, because there's a bunch of magical damage. Yeah, this Meteor Hammer is a good stats. The way you build it up allows you to farm a bit more, but still, I don't see the real usage of it in a team fight, because eventually you're gonna get interrupted. Like, even if you use Ravage into Meteor Hammer, others don't even have a stun that you can combine with. Maybe like Tornado on Invoker, but you know, it's very hard to execute.
You cast the Meteor Hammer on yourself, then Tiny tosses someone onto you. That's got to be the that's got to be the play. Glimmer Cape onto the Tiny. He's ready with a blink. Avalanche toss, trying to catch the Morphling. Tornado's there, but the Stormhammer landing with a perfect roll from Milan, catching the Magnetize and the Ravage, holding back Mudgolems, but Sven has a BKB. Bursting straight through the Ravage and finding the Invoker. Down goes FN. Mudgolems charging forward, and Slark, he's got to get himself waddling back to the base. While Suneko and Afterlife sprinting back to that bottom lane. Mudgolems really are in control.
It's a tough one for them to take a fight, even though it was a 4 or 5 man Ravage. They already used Tiny's combo, Slark to half HP, so he can't go in. It's like, it may seem like a good Ravage, but everyone already used their spells and they needed to back off. Also, Sven with the BKB, they have no abilities that pierces through magic immunity, so Skitter can do whatever he wants. Roche will respawn in a second.
He's up now. Skitter has already TP'd bottom. That's a big juicy wave to farm.
Radiant's top tower is under
And look at
attack.
this, they're finding tier 2 items 23 minutes in on Live to Win.
Oh dear.
That kind of says what kind of a game they're having right now.
Now a bit of a desperate smoke. Any kind of kill is worth it here for Live to Win. Hand of Midas used on the Hellbear mid, so Mudgolems probably know that something is amiss, and they definitely do now as Immersion breaks up the high ground ramp, makes the jump onto the Morphling for the E-Blade, Adaptive Strike. Tiny dies. They're also going to find Suneko with the slow, and the damage from the Impetus hits. It's 2 kills in a row, and Mudgolems, ooh, great roll from Milan. Does find the catch onto Slark, trying to bounce around and maybe body block up the pounce. Another roll connecting with a stun. Silence is ready with a boulder smash to go, and they've got so much control. 3-3's dominating, and Roshan, well, in we go. Mudgolems, 10k lead now.
I think Milan misclicked. He tipped FN instead of Slark. Or maybe there's some beef, you know, when they play the pubs against each other. Or, I mean, there's more beef when you play with someone than when you play against someone.
Yeah. That's right.
So
Jeez.
Morphling will go for that Aghanim Scepter upgrade. Let's see if he decides to turn into Earth Spirit. Maybe he turns into Sven, possibly. Like, Leshrac sounds fine. Double Diabolic Edict.
Oh, yeah, that's real tasty. Milan just rolling around wherever he wants to. It always feels so good when on an Earth Spirit you can just go Tranquil's Urn, Wand, BKB. First big item, BKB. Who's being adaptive struck? Oh, it's the Tiny. Oh, it was the Tiny. 404, and the amount of gold that Supreme will get from it.
Alright,
Tiny, no longer
don't
found.
look, Gary. Try to guess.
Okay,
what
I'm looking in the
33
database.
bought.
What did 33 buy? So he had Greaves.
Yeah, and the next item is...
Dagon.
No. Close.
Oh, that's the second time he bought this on his Void Spirit as well, didn't he?
Yes, he did, but
So-
that game was kind of over already.
2 games in a row. What's that item called again?
Well, what did you call it? Sag and...
Kappa and Sag?
Kappa and Sag.
Well, it tanks him up, gives him a nice bit of extra heal. And of course, that magic amp. Tier 3 down, live to win. They've got to mount a defense. There's no way they can just give free lanes of barracks here to Mudgolems, because this game would end. And tossing the Morphling into the midst of them. Age is still in hand, and he's got the adaptive strength. In comes the Ravage. It's on to 5 of them, but the damage is lacking. They just don't have anyone to pump forward that damage they need. Leshrac's tanky. Morphling's still alive with an Essence Ring.
there's the combo.
Sven's holding the
Meteor
BKB.
Hammer.
The Meteor Hammer lands, sure, but they've lost their lane of racks. Milan dies. The Meteor taking 3-3 low, but not doing anything to finish him off. Now the Guardian Angel comes. Okay, you've kept
They're
yourselves
running
all
away with
alive.
Guardian Angel. They need to go back in.
Mudgolems is running back. They've taken down the racks and the blow up onto Dream. Half HP, waveform back by Supreme. In comes the Stormhammer. Immersion can't get any combos onto anyone. And live to win. They'll find 3-3 here, or will they? The cheese into the split earth, and Dream dead to the impetus hit. Supreme's the one to get the final touch. No buybacks
back
here on Tide
into
or
tier
Slark.
4s.
They've got 3-3 under the tier 4s. The Definite Blast kills them off with a Dire taking the claim. But Tiny now. Oh, Morphling. Very low on HP, but yeah, still has the Aegis of the Immortal. Seneko waveformed upon, and Godlike now, Supreme Morphling. Really running the show. Glimmercape there. Trying to morph into strength. He'll succeed.
They did not manage to kill Morphling a single time. I think they're a bit disconnected who, you know, when they should go in or not. Like, there's this Guardian Angel and everyone starts to just run back while Slark is full HP, full mana. And there's also no real item progression on Slark. It's been a while since he got a new item. Like, with the Diffusal Blade, just got the casual Sag.
We're seeing this a decent amount, aren't we? Status resistance, HP regen with your Shadow Dance is pretty cool. Tanking up with the strength. Needs that BKB desperately, though. And Dire Vision all around that top lane sees perfectly what Live to Win are doing. So Mudgolems converging onto the bottom tier 2. Still, what, a minute and a half on Aegis. Sven, BKB, 8-second duration with God Strength level 3. And a shared Tango. Because, why not? 30 minutes in, shared Tango for Sven, you know? He's chill.
Nah, he's just keeping that, you know, in case something happens, he needs to cut down a certain tree for the juke purposes.
Yeah, Fata's like, here you go, buddy. You can use this, I don't need it. Looks like they're ready to go high ground again. Smoking up behind Supreme, who is in Earth Spirit mode. Arcane
Let's see
Rune
his
as well.
Earth Spirit. Alright,
Oh,
this
here
is
we
the
go.
play.
Milan, Supreme. In we go. Double roll. Down goes Seneko. Beautiful initiation and execution from Mudgolems. One by one. Live to Win will all come crumbling down as FN gets into the Ghost Walk behind his tier 4s. And Old Afterlife does get a
Ravage.
decent Ravage. But they just can't
Ring of
finish
Bassy dropped
anybody
here.
off.
So,
Like,
they do not want to kill it. I think that was Omni Knight who dropped it. Just wants to have a buyback. He needs 22 gold, but they're not falling for it. And it's back in his inventory.
It's another tier 3. Oh, Morphling is ready, isn't he? He's turned into Earth Spirit. Quick little silence. Not going to catch the Slark this time. God's Strength for another 5 seconds or so, but there's the double roll. Great long-range initiation, and FN's blown up with no buyback. That is it, surely. Live to win, down 3 heroes. Slark and Tiny left to their own devices to try and hold on to what remnants of their base are left by Mudgolems. There's only going to be scraps and crumbs and bits of dust as Seneko calls GG and taps out. Best of 3. 2-1 victory for Mudgolems.
Yeah, I feel like Live to Win did not get a chance to play Dota in this game. A couple of mistakes, like decision-making wise, when they need to take a fight, like the spell usage was not on point, and yeah, it kind of shows. Also, this is a type of a game where Guardian Angel does not get that much of value because you have Enchantress with the Dispel, Stormhammer Dispel, you're playing into Earth Spirit and Leshrac. I think this Leshrac as the last pick kind of did not give Slark a chance to be that guy that they wanted him to be.
Yeah, it was the final nail in the coffin there. And a good performance from Mudgolems. So moving forward in that lower bracket to face off against Team Nigma in that lower bracket round 2. And unfortunately, commiserations to Live to Win. But that's not it.